Round one of the 2025 NFL Draft is officially over, and the Pittsburgh Steelers selected defensive tackle out of Oregon, Derrick Harmon, with their first-round selection. Not Shedeur Sanders, not Jalen Milroe, and not any other quarterback for that matter. Harmon is now a Pittsburgh Steeler and gets to work alongside someone that he really admires and models his game after, according to him, in Cam Hayward and, of course, Keanu Benton along the Steelers' defensive line. Today, I'm going to be breaking down why I'm excited about this pick, and then we'll also look forward to round 2 and round 3 of the NFL Draft tomorrow, and I'll go over some top Steelers draft targets that I think would be an excellent value for the Steelers when they're back on the clock at number 83 overall tomorrow. Click that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're going to be back live again tomorrow night, breaking down whoever the Steelers add to this roster tomorrow night. If they trade up, we'll have extensive coverage for you guys as well. So click that subscribe button. Really do appreciate all of your guys' support. So let's talk a little bit here about Derrick Harmon. Now, we did put out a video on Harmon, an instant reaction on this channel earlier in the evening after the Steelers took him. So I'm not going to go into too much detail here, guys. But plain and simply, this guy is a super productive, super disruptive pass rusher, all right? And he's also a disruptive run defender as well. You can take a look here at his stats. He had more pressures, more tackles for losses, and more sacks than Mason Graham, the defensive tackle the Cleveland Browns traded down for at number 5 overall. So Harmon, if he can stay healthy, I think that he's got the ability to be an even more impactful player in the league than even Mason Graham, who was the first defensive tackle off the board. And I think when you look at the 5-man front here, the Steelers are in this front about 20% of the time or so. He's going to slide right into that 5 technique to start as the starter alongside Keanu Benton, who is going to remain the nose tackle, and then Cam Hayward, who's at the 3 technique. And, when I look at a guy like Harmon, he's going to be able to provide that starting caliber play when you're in your 5-down fronts. But when you're in your 4-down fronts, which is 80% of the time, even the Steelers who run a lot of base, they're going to be in 4-down fronts a lot, and he's going to be a part of that rotation, keeping Cam Hayward and keeping Keanu Benton more fresh than they were in previous seasons. And then, of course, you have your heir apparent to Cam Hayward at that 3 technique spot of the future. And, the concern with Harmon is not necessarily on the field. I would say the one knock I have on him on tape is that he does miss too many tackles. He needs to clean that up a little bit, but I think his disruption makes up for that. And then off the field, it's the shoulder injury thing. The shoulder got flagged by a number of NFL teams this year. That's why he fell to the Steelers at number 21, and other defensive tackles, Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, and Walter Nolan, the other top guys in this class, went ahead of him. But the Pittsburgh Steelers clearly wanted him. They didn't bring in Walter Nolan for a top 30 visit, nor did they meet with him at the Combine. Kenneth Grant didn't go to his pro day, no top 30 visit. This was clearly their guy at the position, the guy they wanted. And they got their guy. So credit to Mike Tomlin, credit to Omar Khan. They did say they took calls to move down at this spot, which pretty much confirms, by the way, they did not want to take Shedeur Sanders if they were considering trading down from this spot. But Derrick Harmon was on their list of guys they were not trading down for. He got to them, and he ended up being the pick. So red ped time here. Let me know down there in the comments section, A, B, C, D, or F. This will be the pinned comment on today's show. YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. When that happens, take advantage of that time by grading this pick of Derrick Harmon in round 1 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. For me, I'm going to go A-. And the only reason why it's an A- and not an A for me is because of the shoulder issue that comes alongside Derrick Harmon, because we could look back on this pick 5 years from now, and he's injured, 4 out of the 5 years, and we're like, this guy was just not worth the pick. And once again, Omar Khan took a player with clear injury concerns that's just not a good enough, that just can't stay on the field. So hopefully Harmon has better luck than Corey Trice Jr. and Troy Fautanu have had so far in their careers in terms of staying on the field. But this is certainly somebody that when he's healthy and when he is on the field, he can absolutely be an impact player for the Pittsburgh Steelers as soon as day 1 in this league, in my opinion, especially as a rotational pass rusher. This is the Steelers defensive line that got kind of gassed at the end of last season. And I think Harmon's going to be able to provide that depth that is very much needed on this Steelers defensive line. This was a need that we identified early on in the draft process, and the Steelers get their guy. Now, before we look ahead to round 2 and round 3, day 2 of the NFL draft here, and some targets for you to keep your eye on tomorrow night, let's have a word from our sponsor here at Mando Whole Body Deodorant. And spring is in the air, guys, and the weather is warming up, and I'm looking forward to taking my dog out for long walks and going to watch a ball game on the weekends. I'm looking forward to it even more because I've started using Mando whole body deodorant, because unlike some other deos I've tried, it can actually handle anything. Mando is safe to use anywhere on your body and is clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. Also, Mando's entire line of products are baking soda-free, paraben-free, and you can choose from a variety of fresh scents like bourbon leather, Clover Woods, Mount Fuji, or Pro Sport. Mando has a special offer for new customers to get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code and link. Use code CHAT at shopmando.com. And guys, I've been using their body wash for a very long time at this point, and I've started to use their actual stick deodorant now, and I absolutely love it. It keeps you smelling fresh all day long. I also like that I can have a bunch of hygiene products that smell the same. This is their bourbon leather scent here. And this is actually the same kind of bottle that I got when I first started Mando. And you can get that on the starter pack today, that you guys can get 40% off, $5 off with our friends at Mando today. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers because it comes with a solid stick of deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like that mini body wash I just showed you, or they also have highly recommended deodorant wipes as well you can add to your order. Plus, you get free shipping. As a special offer for our listeners, new customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code that equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you use code CHAT at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando whole body deodorant today. So let's take a look at some of the day 2 draft targets at the positions of need for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And, the guys that I put on this list, guys, are guys that I think that the Pittsburgh Steelers would be very, very fortunate to get in round 3 if they fell to them. We'll start with the quarterbacks here, because it's very apparent to me, guys, that the Steelers feel like they're going to get Aaron Rodgers or they're going to get Kirk Cousins, and that's going to be their starting quarterback this year. I think they would have taken a quarterback if they felt like they needed to get one to start for them in year 1, and they didn't do that. So they clearly feel like they can get some value at this position in the middle rounds. And, if Jalen Milroe is there in round 3, I would have been okay if they took him in round 1 personally, because, he would have time to develop behind a veteran quarterback. But if you get him in round 3, somebody that runs a 4.4 at his size with the dynamic rushing ability that he has, the strong arm, and he doesn't have to play right away, I think that'd be a fantastic value for the Steelers if he's there at 83. Same thing with Tyler Shuck out of Louisville. He's older, but hey, I'm willing to kind of forego the age a little bit more in round 3 as opposed to round 1. And if Shedeur Sanders is there in round 3, maybe the Steelers will consider him, all right? I don't think he's going to make it there to them at 83, but at this point, who knows how low some of the teams in the National Football League view Shedeur Sanders. And definitely don't think it's impossible he makes it to number 83 either. Then we get to the running back prospects here. The 3 guys that I would be really happy to get here are Travion Henderson, Caleb Johnson, or Quinshon Judkins out of Ohio State. If any of those 3 guys fall to you at number 83, I think you probably pull the trigger if you are the Pittsburgh Steelers. The value on those guys at number 83 would just be too great for me to pass up on, especially if it's Caleb Williams out of Iowa. Then you get to, or Caleb Johnson, not Caleb Williams. Then we get to cornerback and safety targets here. Jacob Parrish, somebody I took in my final mock draft for the Steelers, is expected to be available when the Steelers pick at number 83. I think he'd be a really good starting nickel if the Steelers want to get a nickel corner for them. They also did a lot of research on safeties in this class. They seem to really like Xavier Watts. If he falls to them in round 3, I think they would definitely consider him. Same thing with Nick Emenwari out of South Carolina. And then Kevin Winston Jr. out of Penn State is my number 2 safety in this class. If he falls to you in round 3, I think you got to consider him as well. And then, there's still the looming specter out there that the Steelers may trade George Pickens. As I predicted earlier in recent days, I don't think the Steelers are trading George Pickens, guys. But if that becomes a reality and, you get a day 2 pick, wide receiver does become on the board for the Steelers, and Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, Trey Harris, Alec Ayermanor, and Savion Williams out of TCU are the guys that they've shown interest in that are going to be available tomorrow. So if they do trade George Pickens, watch out for these 5 wide receivers. It's probably going to be one of these guys to replace George if they do pull the trigger on a George Pickens trade, which, like I said, guys, I don't think is going to happen, but I do want to go over the possibility. So take a guess for me down there in the comment section. Who are the Pittsburgh Steelers going to take at number 83 tomorrow? Give me a prediction down there in the comment section. I appreciate all of you guys watching our live coverage tonight. Of course, we're releasing this video quite late into the evening. If you guys watched all of our content that we put out today, from our AM video to our pick cut, all the way through our live show, and all that great stuff, we really do appreciate all of your support. And again, it's going to be continuing on tomorrow. We will be live for every single pick of round 2 of the NFL draft and round 3 of the NFL draft as well. Tomorrow we'll be giving away another Steelers jersey. We'll be giving away another Steelers draft hat. A lot of great stuff coming up tomorrow on Steelers Talk. So make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Until tomorrow, guys, here we go, Steelers.